Welcome back to Royal Blu FX. In today's video, we're going to talk about the Asia highs and the Asia lows and how to properly trade them. I also have some good news. We just released one of our courses based on the PLT and PHT theory that we invented, that we created. If you're struggling with your trading and you're not getting the right results that you're looking for in your trading, go ahead and check us out at RoyalBluFX.com and go ahead and purchase a course right now and join our team to start trading today with us. So let's begin. All right, so when people are looking to trade the London session, they'll most likely refer to the Asia session and actually try and see how they can get a better sort of setup or entry, if you will, on the London session based on the Asia session. Okay, so as we all know, a lot of the traders out there don't trade the Asia session due to its lack of liquidity and movement and or momentum in the markets. Okay, so typically what you'll see in the Asia session is, you know, a range most of the time, right? Something like this. You know, it doesn't have to be picture perfect or whatever, right? But the way we trade the London session is based on what the Asia highs and Asia lows do, okay, and where they are, in particularly where they are, so we can actually get and pan everything out correctly for the London session, okay? So what I mean by this is, what you're going to typically look at, let's just pretend this is the Asia session, right? What you're looking for is to find where the most high of the Asia high is, okay? So this, we'll just say this is the Asia high here. Okay, that is the most highest of the Asian highs, right? The Asia high, and then let's just say this would be the most, the low point of Asia low right there. Okay, so this would be Asia low. Okay, so what typically happens is when the London opens, okay, what typically happens is price either takes out the Asia lows or Asia highs. Okay, there's two ways to actually trade this, and I'm going to show you the first one. The first one is when price, let's just say London opened, right, and London opened right here at this very point, right over here. Okay, something like right there. Okay, let's just say price opened there, right, and then price just started pushing bullish, right? And notice what it does. It takes out the Asia high, right? Then price will come back down. Maybe there's liquidity in here or whatever, right? Then prices tend to go bullish like this, right? So the first way to trade this is either waiting for the Asia high to be swept, right? And you can probably see that this was probably an uptrend. Okay, so the first way to trade this is if you see prices are going bullish on the market, right? And you see that Asia was actually consolidating or ranging at this time. Okay, what a lot of traders would do is wait for prices to break a new high, which would be, this would be most likely your typical high, which would be also your Asia high, okay? And when the Asia high is taken, right, there's a lot of liquidity right at the highs right over here, right? Because you can see there's a lot of sellers selling right over here. So when price retraces, you can see that this high utilized all the liquidity from this high and pushed prices bearish, right? And then once prices got there, right, then you wait for prices to come to your demand zone, like so, and then you look for the buys, okay? Now, this is more easier said than done, obviously, but we're going to show you some live examples after this, some of these examples, okay? Or after these drawings that I do over here for you guys, okay? So the other way, okay, is to see price in this way. So let's just say we were consolidating again, okay? And then prices actually reopened right over here. Let me just put this back over here for you guys. Okay, prices open right there. Okay, and then prices rise like this, taking out the Asia high, right, and then starting to go bearish, right, like this. And then a lot of traders, like I said, would be here ready for to buy right over here because of the demand aspect of this, okay? The demand aspect of the setup here, okay? And so what happens is there might be at times where price gets to this demand zone and then prices push up, right? And then making these demand traders happy and then push price bearish like this, okay? This is what is sometimes called, or in time to time, it's called a liquidity trap in the market, okay? So whenever you see the Asia high swept, right, that is liquidity being swept from the highs, then price pushing bearish, right? Now, the only reason why price would go bearish here is only because probably prices reversing, probably prices are at the very extreme over here on the you know, over extended on the premium side of things, so prices are ready to reverse and go bearish. That's another thing. Okay, so the other way to really trade this is to trade the liquidity sweep. Okay, so every time price goes above the Asia high, that would be considered a liquidity sweep. If prices go below the Asia low, that would be another liquidity sweep. It will be called an Asia low liquidity sweep. Okay, like that, and then look for prices to rise. Okay, so these are the only two ways that you can see how to trade the markets with the Asia highs and the Asia lows, respectively. Okay, so let's go show you here some examples. I'm going to delete this right now, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about if I can get this deleted. Okay, let's see, this did not delete. Let's get another attempt here. Right there. Does this work? Yes, it is. Okay, let's go to the left. Okay, so let's look at this. Let's go down to the 15-minute. Actually, let me, if you guys haven't had this toggled on, have this sessions. These sessions, you can actually get it. It's by this, let me see who it's by right here. It's by this over here. ROX underscore AIF. Okay, so these are the sessions you guys need to get right there. Okay, so get those on, toggle them on. Okay, and what you want to do is only have London and Tokyo toggled on, right? And then put this back on right over here. Or actually, let me show you over here. If you put this on, right, you'll see that the sessions are on here. If I go on a 30-minute, you might see it better right there. Okay, so the sessions here are, the green one is London, the yellow one is the Asia session. Okay, so I'm going to show you guys how this works based on the sessions. Okay, so because we're waiting for the Asia session to be swept, in order for us to see where to enter, right, watch this. So let's start with the first one that we see here. You see there's the Asia high, the very extreme part, the very high of the Asia high, and the very low of the Asian low, right? Okay, right there. Okay, now as you can see here, prices are bullish on the 30-minute, so we'd be looking for buys here, right? Now let's see what happens here on the lower time frames, right? Let's see if we would have had any entry opportunities. Okay, so right off the bat here, you can see that there's a break above this high here, right? And there you can see your break and retest traders here, right? You can see prices are overextended here, so there would not have been any opportunities for us to even be buying here. Okay, because the Asia session hasn't, the Asia high has swept, but it didn't do anything. It didn't come back and retrace back at the area here where we would look for buys. Okay, let's look over here now to the next session. Let's go over here. Okay, here we got a good setup. Okay, now let me show you over here. You have the Asia high right there. This was the highest point of the Asia high right there. Okay, swept, and the Asia low is all the way down here. Okay, so knowing that we are bullish, right? So we're trading this in a bullish perspective. Okay, we're trading this in a trending perspective. Let's just say that we're not looking just to take the sweep of the high of the Asia high or sweep of the low and then trade against the trend. Okay, this is with the trend. We're going bullish. Okay, so you can see that the Asia high has been swept right there. Right, prices went up. They came right below. Right. Had a liquidity sweep right at this low right over here, and then prices went bullish, right? So we would have been ready at this area right over here to look for buying opportunities right here. So this would have been a good opportunity for the day, right? Vice versa, the other perspective, right? If you were to trade against the trend, you can see when the Asia high was swept, right? You can see this whole entire impulsive move to the downside has happened right here, right? That right there. So that would be also another opportunity for you guys to trade, right, with the Asia highs or Asia the lows, if the lows were swept there though. Okay, let's look at some other opportunities here, other examples, excuse me. Okay, so right over here, you can quickly see off the bat, we have the Asia high swept again, right over here. There's the highest of the Asia high, right, because that is yellow. That's where the Asia high was, right? London opened, and London just opened and swept the high of the Asia high, and prices went against it, right? Now, if you were trying to trade with the trend, you would have had some problems, some issues over here, because unfortunately, we're not buying here. We're actually selling. Actually, let me just even zoom this out a bit. We're not buying. We're looking for sells. That's my That's my mistake. You're looking for sells because everything is bearish. So this would have actually worked out in your favor. Okay, there's a lot of liquidity here, you can see, right there, right over here, right? And so when prices sweep the liquidity, okay, it swept the liquidity there. When we wait for the Asia high or Asia low, we wait to see if price is going to come here first, right? Prices didn't even have to take this high over here. Okay, if London opened over here, right? Let's just say London opened right here where it did, right? Prices didn't have to come up above the Asia high to sweep. Okay, it didn't have to, right? It could have even come at the Asia low and sweep the Asian low and then retrace and then sell off from here, okay? It could have done that too, right? But like, again, I'm telling you guys that, you know, either way is correct depending on where the trend is with the market, right? So over here, we would have had an actual sell on the Asia high because the Asia, right, you can see that the yellow, right, that was the last point, the highest point of the Asia session, right? So that would have been a good sell there. Okay, let's look at the next one. Right here is a little different. You can see that we do have the Asia high being there, right? Right over there at that very tip, right? And then right over here, you can see when the green crosses with the yellow, this is where the Asia low. Now the Asia low is right here, right over there. Okay, that would be considered the Asia low right there. So the Asia low is swept. In this opportunity, you would get an entry based on the liquidity here. Okay, because we're seeing everything going bearish, this would have been an entry because this would have been an entry after the London liquidity. Excuse me, London liquidity has been swept over here. Okay, although it has swept the Asia session, but this one would not have been a good opportunity for anybody that's looking to, you know, obviously profit from the Asia session. So I would altogether just even skip that one. It might not even have a trade for that day, to be honest, if I was just trading the Asia session, okay, or the London session with the Asia highs and Asia lows. Okay, right here, you can see off the bat, you can see that the Asia high was actually swept here, right there. All right, that's the Asia high, and then the Asia low is right over here. So off the bat, guys, you can see that we would be trading away. Let me see if this would be away or with the trend. Okay, because we're here from this high all the way down to this low, I would look at this as a downtrend, right? Because we don't know all this information, all this data over there. So we would be trading with the trend. You can see that the Asia high was swept, and you would be selling with the market going bearish. So there we go off the bat. When the London opened right over here, when London opened right here, it took out the Asia highs, right? And then price sold off, right? And you can TP at the bottom right over here for a good profit, right? So that would be a good one. It took out the Asia lows as well, but it did whatever it wanted to do from there. But typically when the Asia session, when London takes out the Asia highs, Asia lows, you're taking price off the bat, like right away, you know, because that's where the good opportunities come. Now here's an interesting one. You can see that, let me go back over here. You can see how Asia is just consolidating most of the time. It's just ranging. It doesn't, there's no big moves, right? Here, same thing too. This is a very typical range. You can see prices are ranging, right? Let's look at where the main Asia high is. You can see it right there. Okay, that's the Asia high, and then here's your Asia low. So in today's session, in London session, if you were to take this, right, sometimes it takes it, sometimes it doesn't, right? But in some cases, like I said, it does take out the Asia highs or Asia lows, and it continues bearish. In this case, you wouldn't have any trading opportunities if you were just trading the Asia session, right? So I hope you guys are starting to see sort of the idea of how the Asia session, the Asia highs and Asia lows work. It's very easy, very typical, right? You can make a ton of money doing this if this is the way you want to trade, obviously. Right here off the bat again, you can see there is the Asia high again right there, right? Because this is the yellow area right there. So you can see it very clearly that we do have the Asia high swept there, okay? And then the Asia low has been also swept all the way down here, but we're not going to be buying, we're only going to be selling, right? So this would have been a good opportunity, right? Price takes out the high, right? Look for your confirmation here and start selling towards the downside. Okay, let's look at another probably last example here, because I'm pretty sure you guys are starting to get to understand how the Asia sessions work. with the London. Okay, right here again, we have Asia highs right there. Okay, notice how price takes out that high and just runs, right? Targeting this low or this low. Either one would have been nice, okay? And you can see where the Asia low, the lowest of the lows, is right there, right? So you would have profited a really nice really nice trade over here. On this example, you can see that the Asia high is there, the Asia low is here, right? So we see that the Asia low is taken, right? But price doesn't actually go up from here. You can't be buying, right? So neither the high wasn't taken, but the Asia low was taken. But we're buying, we wouldn't be looking for, well, we would actually be looking for buys right in and around this area. So we wouldn't have had any confirmation in this area to buy, right? Let's look at one more example. Okay, this one wouldn't work out for you either because there's your Asia low, there's your Asia high. The Asia high was swept, and I think if you were actually on a lower time frame, the 1 minute or the seconds, you would have an opportunity here. Actually, you can even see that there's the break right there, right? There's all your liquidity. So this would actually still be an entry right there because you see that wick coming in right there, right? This is all that liquidity in here. So this would have been an entry for the buy on London. So this was actually pretty good because we're bullish, okay? All right, last one, guys. Here we go. Asia high is right there. Asia high is right there, right? You can go to the right, look at that, right? We can look and see that we're bearish, it looks like here. We were bearish for some time. You can see the Asia high was swept, and there's your sell. Boom, right? So once the Asia high is taken, boom. Asia low is taken as well. This would be your final TP down here, right? So you would profit pretty nicely on this one. This would be a 45 pip move right there, 46, right? All right, guys, I hope you guys understand how to trade the Asia highs and Asia lows. They're very typically easy to understand. You know, if this video was very helpful, please comment and or like the video. Also subscribe to this channel because we always leave out free content, guys. Until then, we'll see you in the next.